A strange creature in the mountains. A new group of survivors have arrived. An unusual sight over the plains. And much more, now, on Lantern News. From the Lantern Radio Studios, I'm Alan Worryton, and this is Lantern News. In station news this week, our station manager was visited by a wizard today. He was impressed by her recovery and stated that there was no sign of the curse spreading, but said that she still has a long way to go. To help remove the dust from the dark dimensions from her brain, he prescribed a tonic made from the whispers of a bullfrog, 3 slices of fresh apple, and a basilisk's tear. Listeners, if any of you know where to find an apple, we will pay you well for delivering one. Our clearing out of the studio continues. This week we managed to clear Studio C, the second smallest of our broadcasting spaces. While we were clearing the space, we found the source of the necro-rat infestation that has been plaguing the studio since we resumed broadcasting. We managed to finally clear them, though our studio assistant Linda was severely bitten in the process. She should be fine, but if anyone knows a good internal medicine doctor or possibly a friendly necromancer, please refer them to the studio. A quick station note about our job listing from last week. While we are excited to get back to producing the entertaining content you expect from Lantern Radio, we feel we must be a bit more specific in our requirements. Ghosts, specters, and disembodied voices do not count as living people, nor do talking animals. We hope you understand that these requirements are for the safe and efficient operation of this station. And now this week's weather, brought to you by Azrael's Pub. Thirsty after a hard day spent fighting off demons and roving gangs? Hungry from the endless search for scrap metal and bullets? Come to Azrael's Pub. Azrael and his cursed minions will take good care of you. And remember, if you sign Azrael's book, you eat for free, forever. Clear skies and warm weather for the beginning of the week, with a blood moon expected on Wednesday. Remember, barricade your doors and windows during the blood moon. The curse will be out in large numbers and far more aggressive than normal. Expect cooler temperatures and a chance of storms of randomized magic going into the weekend. Now the news from the wasteland. A strange sight was seen over the wasteland this week. A rainbow formed in a clear sky, causing even the most hardened wasteland wanderer to take a moment and pause. If you missed it, you missed a rare sight since it was the first reported rainbow since the last day so very long ago. We were privileged to see it from here at the station, out to the east over the plains. Listeners, it was a beautiful sight. On the same day that the rainbow appeared, something else happened not far from this very studio. A group of wanderers set up camp in the valley just below us. Their leaders knocked on the studio door and offered us a fresh pie. Of course, being good neighbors, we accepted. But being experienced survivors, we had the pie carefully checked for poisons and magic by having our studio assistant Linda eat some first. She reported that it tasted wonderful and didn't disappear, turn into something indescribable, or die, so we accepted and happily shared a meal with our new neighbors. They claim to have been driven out from their previous settlement for refusing to conform to the strict rules that were being forced upon them. In response to the oppression, they traveled the wasteland until they found somewhere that could sustain them and allow them to live as they choose. Apparently, that place is here, in the valley below our studio. Time will tell what new skills this group will bring, but those of us in the studio have high hopes that they will survive the raiding gangs and hordes of undead, and we're sure you'll join us in welcoming this new group and wishing them all the best. In other wasteland news, Mumbly Dave reports seeing a large creature flying in the clouds that hang permanently over the mountains. He said, and I quote, "Harumph cornswoggle, her, big black wings swirl in the mists, long tail, lots of spikeses, big toothy head, whens it lands on the mountain top, mistress, fire in its mouth." So if you're planning on taking an adventuring party into the mountains in the near future, remember, one of those mountains is spoken for. That's the news this week. And remember, not all clouds are created equal. Some are made of water, and some are made of evil mind-controlling vapors. Stay safe out there, survivors. Lantern News is a Lantern Audio Works production. It is written and performed by N.J. Sullivan and produced by N.J. Sullivan and Celosia Crane. To hear all our shows and support us on Patreon, visit lanternaudioworks.com.